Other than these principles, there are many other things, or components that network security has. It has certain principles. One principle is defense in depth. Make sure that you are compliant with that tactic. It's well and good. Next, you give it an approach of confidentiality, integrity, and availability. You make sure you put green marks on all these things, then you're good. There are many other things. Something like a zero trust framework, a layered security approach, okay, and many more like this. So once you start reading this network security, once you deep dive into this network security concept, there will be multiple structures or layers or approach methods towards network security. So each organization will follow one approach method or layer method. So something like a zero trust model, or something like an a layered approach, or something like a defense in depth approach, or some organizations they make sure they're compliant with the CIA always, confidentiality, integrity, and availability, and much. There are multiple tools, when you talk about network security, and methods. Access control and authentication, I would like to give you a very small example. I don't know how many of your colleges has access card facilities. Okay, say for an example, if you are going to get into a lab, restricted lab, you will have an access card. You punch in the access card, then only your door opens. How does that happen? Your access card is permitted with that access, and that access card is given to you as an identity, because you're studying in that college and you're liable to get that. So access control and authentication. That's one. Antivirus and anti-malware. Most of you would have heard about antivirus, but not anti-malware. It's something like an antivirus. It protects malware. Antivirus, it protects virus. Anti-malware, it protects malware. So there are multiple, different kind of threats. Why you can say virus, malware, worms. There are multiple things that you have to go through. So malware is one such kind. So antivirus and anti-malware is one good example. Device and infrastructure security. What does this mean? What is an infrastructure security? Infrastructure security is within your college premises. Nothing linked with outside world or nothing like that. Within your college premises, this department guy does not have access to that department lab, the other department lab. No, mechanical guy, as I said, mechanical will not have access to the computer. Computer will not have access to the mechanical lab. So something like that, the cross-functional access and the infrastructure security that your organization put forward. Access control and authentication, in simple terms, is nothing but the process defined to protect data and resources by validating users' credentials and ensuring that those users are only permitted. As simple as that. That's just the definition. What I told you is an example. Access restricted to social media, websites such as Facebook, WhatsApp, etc., in your educational institution or in a computer lab environment. So you have your own credentials for your Facebook. That's your identity again. That's your authentication again. You have your own password for your authentication. So that's one good example. Antivirus, McAfee, Symantec, and the antivirus solutions that you use in your workstations, laptop, or mobile devices. McAfee and Symantec are something like an enterprise oriented. Big organizations will have this. You might have heard about Kaspersky. Kaspersky is individual oriented, EPS. Avast, all these, are nothing but your antivirus and anti-malware solution. Device integrity again, protecting the infrastructure from public and also restricting the access using perimeter security devices. Firewalls, proxy, intrusion prevention systems, all these are, the devices that you have across your network. So once you have your network holistically, you have multiple devices, firewall, proxy, intrusion prevention. So once you go into this network security concept, you will get to know about all these technologies. You'll get to know what is a firewall. You'll get to know what is a proxy. You'll get to know IPS. You'll get to know IDS, mail gateways, media gateways. So everything, all these 360-degree, you will have knowledge. So once you get all these knowledge, then you will be a certified network security engineer. Access restricted to social media, example, it's the same. Coming to the good point, as a security engineer, what understand fundamental concepts and working of internet. So there are certain fundamental concepts how an internet works. It just happens in a quick minute of time. You go to a browser, connect google.com, it just takes a fraction of second for you to get the response page back. But there are n number of operations that happen at the back end. It is unimaginable. It is your Google server is not at the back of your house. It's somewhere else in this world, somewhere else. But you get the response just like that. How does that happen? There is something, that's what you call the network magic. People term it as the magic with IP address or the magic with network. So there are a lot of concepts, fundamental oriented concepts, and which is put across for the internet to work. So one must understand how an internet works. Say I go to google.com, I connect it, I must know how it works. Right from the traffic from my lap, once I connect it, once I hit enter button, what happens? Where does it go? How does I get the response? And how is the page loaded in my in my browser screen? So a very good understanding of this is very important. Okay. Networking and network security. Networking is what you will learn at the initial phase, how this communication happens. Then when this communication happens, what all can happen, from an exploitation or, a security breach perspective, then what I have to do to protect it. So networking and network security. Identify cyber security threats, vulnerabilities, and risks to mitigate them. So what are the vulnerabilities here and what are the risks there? So these three, threat, vulnerability, and risk, this have, the connection between them. What is a threat? What is a vulnerability? What is a risk? Someone can, enter your house as a threat. Enter your house without your notice is a threat. A locked house, someone can enter that is a threat. What is a vulnerability? How can he enter? Because the walls are weak. Because the gate, the lock that I've put in the gate is not that strong. So all these are vulnerabilities that you have, the loopholes that you have. Risk. Okay, after exploiting this vulnerability, after breaking that, lock, after breaking that wall, he has stepped in. What is the risk that I have? He has stepped in right now. What is the risk? He might loot away my money, he might loot away my properties, or he might, there could be chances where, he might stab me as well. So this is the connection between the threat, vulnerability, and risk. So this is something that you have to understand, or you will understand once you are a network security engineer. You will be able to differentiate each and everything in this way. The different layers of security and the security appliances. Okay, what are layers? Email security gateway. Email security has email security gateway. Network security, it involves multiple devices. Proxy, appliance, when I say appliance is device, it's a device literally. Proxy, firewall. No, network security, proxy, firewall, intrusion prevention, intrusion detection, F5, web gateway. So all these are your network security oriented devices. So what are the layers and what all devices that they have. Okay. Once you understand this only, you'll be able to tell or advise, okay, this is your requirement. This is the device you have to buy. This is how you have to configure it. This is where you have to place it in the environment so that you are safe and secure. When you want such kind of knowledge, you must understand and study the network security holistically, fully. Work on multiple cyber exploits and understand their behavior. There are multiple cyber exploits happening at every minute. Every minute, you'll not believe, every minute. Every minute there is a data breach. Every minute, someone sitting somewhere is actually working on some data breach. Seriously. So we are not safe. We are vulnerable. Seriously. The next 10 to 20, 25 years, I bet cybersecurity is going to rule the world. Everything, as we develop the technologies, we are prone to vulnerabilities. We are putting ourselves into risk. So when we are putting ourselves into risk, there is a demand for a person who knows what is a risk and to mitigate. Implement key security controls and take preventive measures to strengthen the security posture of an organization. Straightforward. You have to put, key controls if you have to put, and if you have to take that preventive measure, to make sure that the security posture of the organization is all good, you must understand what is a network security. Design a career path 360-degree across cybersecurity vertical, thereby becoming eligible to become a cybersecurity expert. So you altogether start from a network security engineer, you go 360-degree across the cybersecurity vertical. One such example is what I am doing right now. I network engineer. I study network security. I went through all those, through those logics of, multiple verticals: email security, application security, web gateway security, penetration testings, and all these things I went through. I worked there for some time. I learned all those courses. I completed it. I did my forensics course as well. And by then, I am a qualified cybersecurity engineer or a cybersecurity expert. That's what was my role all about. Learn and indulge in network forensics for any compliance related issues. Guys, this is one wonderful work area, network forensics. You'll love it if you get a chance to work here. I bet it. I mean, I have not got a chance to work here as till date. It's a wonderful job, network forensics. Any data breach that happens, any complaints that happens from the HR in an organization, you will be given that laptop. All you have to do is like you have to export the image of that laptop. You have to see what all he has access to: his browsing histories, his chat histories, just like a police cybercrime department. Seriously, guys, this job is damn interesting, a forensics job. So you have to take all those informations, collect all those evidences, submit it to your HR team. And if it is legally, if any legal action is need to be taken, there is a need for legal action, then they take it across. Wonderful job it is. Career path and job opportunities, no matter what organization size or nature is, they definitely need a cybersecurity or security expert in their team to defend current threat landscape. Simply what I told you right now. There is always a threat. When there is a threat, there is always a vulnerability. When there is a vulnerability, there is always risk. And when all these things are there, there is a need for someone to understand that risk, patch that vulnerability, and make sure that the organization is the threat actor is not getting into the organization, or you're free from the threats. 100% there is always a requirement. Again, the same statement is what I told you. Technology grows proportionally, the risk grows. When the risk grows, there is a need for a person or an engineer who understands the risk and make sure that there are no compromise or no backlogs or nothing like that. The latest report of Easy Council in 2020, it takes cyber security will cost around US, in $6 trillion by 2021. They are stating that the cyber security vertical in a company, will gradually increase almost 6 trillion by 2021. Okay, that indicates, a career in network security is a hot commodity right now. You get a job in network security, guys, definitely one point you have to study, no matter whatever it is, because this field is totally to study and understand a lot of things. Keep studying. That's one very, very important. If you get a job as a network security, it's a hot commodity, it's a hot seat. Start studying the whole verticals, different verticals of network security, network security, application security, endpoint. Work along 1 or 2 years in each field. By the end of 5, 6, 7 years, you're a well qualified cybersecurity expert. Adding up to these, increase in threat landscape of the current pandemic solution has been a cherry on the cake for threat actors to make the organization a spray. Seriously, this phrase is totally matching the current situation right now. Seriously, working from an office is something secure because you are connecting from the office network. Working from home is not secure because you're using your home network. It's not at all secure. When you're in office itself, there is the threat landscape, the breaches, number of security breaches keeps happening. When you're not in office and when you're sitting at home and using an internet or a network which is not protected, seriously you're under risk. This in turn has made every single organization to concentrate and increase their landscape on the cybersecurity vertical. That's what happened. Every company started investing in the cybersecurity vertical. Okay, my threat is too much. I'll hire few more people. I'll train them. I'll put them across. Work with them. More number of job opportunities have increased. Seriously, trust me. The average salary of a network security analyst is $81,000 annually. It's an average. It's an average. It ranges, from the freshers to the top experts. However, this may vary based on their experience, skill set, and the role offered. One thing I can promise: definitely there is a job for everyone, who is into this vertical. The job opportunities for this vertical is blooming like something. Network security is key in cybersecurity. That's the key factor, because network is the key. Without internet, your application will not connect, to Google. You will not be able to send your email. Only if if you're able to send your email, you make sure you protect all those spam emails and everything. Only if you have an internet. So what is securing the internet? Network security. So network security is the heart of cybersecurity. Many entitled certifications when you talk about, and also being the entry point for anyone who would want to make their career path into cybersecurity vertical. 200% true. This course is entitled for almost 50 to 60% knowledge, and I 1 year of experience that a security analyst would possess actually. You know, every single course you talk about CCNA, you talk about CISA, CYSA plus, CISA or CISA plus. All these ones you completed, you'll get an information or you'll get a knowledge of almost 1 year working experience, literally. Entry level jobs that one can possess on a network security analyst are, once you are a pure network security analyst, you complete certain courses and you get knowledge. System administrator, network administrator. Now, all these are the entry level designations. Security administrator. Few more career paths that one can choose in cyber vertical is security specialist, incident responder, security analyst, security administrator, security manager, and much more. It's totally a different, cybersecurity. I'm a cybersecurity analytical engineer. I talk about multiple verticals. If something goes wrong, I sit and I advise my customers, where it went wrong. I investigate. I do some forensics. I investigate and I give them a report. I tell them what is weak, what is their strong in security, where is the, in what posture of security is weak, what posture of security is strong, what has to be done to mitigate all these things. So this is the overall, work I do. And there are much more security specialists, the base L1 people who do it, incident responder, any security breach that happens. This guy is the guy who plays a key role. Incident responder, he responds for the incident. He makes sure that he hits the first, nail across. He makes sure that no more data is breached and everything. Security analyst, very common role. Administrator, yes, that's also a common role. Manager, obviously that manager keyword would have, that's something that tells you he is obviously a manager, as simple as that. It's an operational manager, but in terms you'll call him as a security manager. Security auditor, you become a security auditor, you go to a company, you check their, more or less the job that I do. You audit their environment, you say where is the strong posture, what is their weak posture, and you work along with it, you get it. Forensics expert, I already explained you, right? Forensics is again a cool job. Vulnerability assessor, the name is pretty straightforward. He assesses the vulnerability. He checks all the vulnerability. Okay, in an environment, what are the vulnerabilities that you have? What are the loopholes that you have? Pen tester. Pen testing is nothing but vulnerability report. Okay, these are vulnerable. I will test it across. I'll try to exploit it. I'll test it across. So that's a pen tester. Security engineer. Pretty common job role that everyone gets. Security engineer.